Gearing is just a measure of how much load is on the face of the blade. So you've got three factors. You've got your span, your oar length, and your inboard. So a common one that people like to move is the pin, and you can see if the pin comes in, what effect that has on the actual gearing. So it's coming in, so that actually getting a greater length of arc, but the actual distance the oar is traveling in the water is still the same, but just the arc length is greater, so it's more load. The biggest impact though on gearing is going to be outboard length. So if you make your oar longer from the button out to the end of the blade, or shorter, conversely, it's going to be lighter. Inboard has minimal effect on gearing, so outboard is probably the first go-to. I'll normally use this one for different size athletes. So a shorter athlete, I'll generally bring it in a bit. Longer ones can go out a bit. So just a bit of a visual on what pin's movement does. So the other one I do measure is gate height to water. So if you measure basically our gate height to the seat and then just sit on the water and then measure that gate height to the water, you then get everything else calculated out for you. And then just some basic numbers as to what it should be. So on sculling boats, looking at about a 22 centimetre gate height to water. And then it gets seat height to water as well. So that's an actual big one for the feeling of the athlete. So I guess an extra one that you can measure. Angles, and I'll show you how to do this. So if you're talking about trying to row a certain arc length, so for my sculling guys, I'm looking at about 110 total arc length, broken up to about 45 at the finish, 55 at the catch, roughly. Give or take. That's 100, so then you're going to add on a little bit more at each end to try and get 110 out of it. So sometimes I actually put marks on boats, so you'll see straws and whatever else sometimes, so I'll quickly show you how to do that, but it's basic trig, so it's not hard once you see how it's done, I guess. So we'll look at that one, and that's the chart that I then use. So it says basic trigonometry. We know the span, we know what angle we're looking for, so we can then get the hypotenuse side, and it's just basic measurement on the boat. We just string line to set that one up. So hopefully that's something that you can take away from today. And then lastly, looking at pitch. So when you're looking at the pitch, it's important to not go right at the end of the blade or not right down near the shaft, but you're looking at about 25 to sort of even 50 mil in from the end of the blade. Is where you're going to get your pitch line from. And again, I'll show you that in a second. So that's a bit of a quick theoretical rundown of what we're going to be looking at, and basically just some cues that I like to look for.
At Decent Rowing, our goal is to get world-class rowing information into the hands of everyone. One of the easiest ways to do that is through our email list. We send out tips and tricks on rowing on a regular basis. If you want, you can sign up. As a sign-up bonus, you get 21 of our best rowing videos, including beginner and advanced rowing videos. We've also chucked in a couple of basic training programs and a training piece. So if you want to sign up, you can see what it's all about.